Hi everyone, welcome to this lesson about mixing colours using coloured pencils. My name's Jude Williams and I'm going to be leading you through the class today. Our learning aims are how you can create different colours and tones using coloured pencils, the correct ways of holding pencils, and using a variety of pressures to create different effects. There's some keywords that we're going to be using today: colour wheel, colour theory, tints, shades, and tones. So let's get stuck in. So first of all, I'm going to show you how I create a colour wheel. So I first start off with a yellow colour, then a blue, and then a red. So these are our primary colours. And then I start to blend those colours around. You notice that they are quite faded and pale at the moment. We need to begin layering our colours up together. If you start by pressing really hard with your pencil straight away, you won't be able to layer different colours on top of each other. When we're mixing colours, layering is our most important thing. We need to be able to see all of those different layers as we're mixing them together. So I've mixed the yellow and the blue and I've created my green tones in between. And now I'm starting to mix the yellow and the red tones together. This is obviously much faster than you would normally do, but you can take your time and do this as slowly as you want. Once we've finished, we should have all of the different tones mixed together by layering one on top of each other. And there we are, finished colour wheel. The next bit we're going to have a look at is how to mix the tints, tones and shades. So if you've watched our other colour theory video, you should know that tints are when we add white to a hue or a colour, tones are where we add grey to a tone or a colour, and shades are where we add black. So let's have a little look at this video now. So here I'm doing the tints first of all. I'm using my red and then my white, but I'm also going to show you just the hues as they are. So the bit that's on the right hand side is me using my white and red and layering them on top of each other. And the bit that's on the right hand side is just the pure colour, so just the red. Can you see how I still have to layer the different tones on top of each other? So I still have to use my blue, then my white, then my blue, then my white. But equally, on the side where I'm doing the hues, I still need to layer the different colours on top of each other. So I still need to do a number of layers of yellow or blue or red. I am doing the primary colours, but also I'm going to show you a tertiary colour, secondary colour as well, which is the green. And that's my tints. Next, I'm going to do the tones. So I've started off here by using the 3 primary colours and that secondary colour of green, and then I'm using my grey on top. Remember that you need to be using a grey colouring pencil, not a grey drawing pencil, because the colours need to mix together. We don't want to make them too muddy by using a drawing pencil. Again, we have to keep going with those different layers. Next, we're going to start with the shades. So I'm using my black here, but remember that black is our most dominant colour. It's our strongest. So we want to use it slightly, lightly with our pencil first of all, and then go over with the different colours. I keep mixing and layering those colours over and over again to get the different darker tones, the different shades. And there we have it, tints, tones and shades, lighter, more grey and darker tones of the hue. Next, we're going to have a little look at how to hold a pencil correctly. There are a number of different ways, and I'm not saying, to be honest, that one of these is correct. We all hold our pencil quite differently. So it's up to you on what you feel is most appropriate for yourself. But for me, these are the different ways I hold a pencil and the reasons why I do them. So let's have a little look at this video. So first of all is a normal sort of general grip for a pencil for handwriting. This one is a sort of drummer's grip. So you're sort of gently holding the pencil. It's good for quite direct marks, but quite light as well. Next one is what I use for shading using colour and shading using my colour pencil. I hold it at the end of the pencil. So here I'm using my tonal pencil and holding it right at the very end. It's good for some very, very thin lines as well, quite where you're not quite sure what you're doing, first of all, and you want to make sure you're getting the correct lines. This next one is where I'm pressing down with my index finger, my first finger. This is very useful for doing sketches where you're outdoors and you need to be sketching quite quickly. And then the next one is very similar to the one where I was shading, and I am shading with this, but this time I'm holding my pencil on the side, still at the end of the pencil, but this way you're able to see more of what you're doing on the paper. So again, like I said, it is up to you what way you hold your pencil, but try and create some different marks to see what sort of thing is useful for your projects. The next little bit we're going to have a look at is how to shade. So on this, I'm going to do the wrong way and the right way. So if you are shading using the quite long, definite scratchy marks, your shading is not going to look very smooth. If, however, like I'm doing on the right-hand side now, you're shading using circular motions and slowly you start to build up those tones of color, and the shading looks like it transfers very smoothly from the red into the blue, rather than the left-hand side, which can look very scratchy. Once you have those type of scratchy marks in your coloring, it is very difficult to change that. Once you have those marks pressed into the paper, it's very difficult to change that mistake. So if you're looking for a gradual blend between the colours, I would definitely recommend using small circular motions with your colouring pencils. The last little bit we're going to do now is using different pressures and creating different textures. So we can use lighter and darker pressure here. So darker straight away and then moving into lighter pressure. Next, we could be doing little scratchy marks, but this is to maybe show different textures like grass, but using different colours over the top. Next, we should be able to show a sort of curve in a shape by adding layers of different colours for shadow and shades, but also adding different tones and different colours for the highlights. Using curved marks and layering over our colours. Can you see how that one now is starting to look brown at the bottom? The last bit I'm doing is different marks to show different textures. And if I just go back slightly on that video so that you can see the last little bit, showing different textures by using different lines in different ways. So let's have a little recap of what we've done in today's lesson. We've gone through different things quite quickly, so I recommend definitely watching this video again and pausing it when you need to. So let's have a look at our different learning aims from the beginning. How you can create different colours and tones using colouring pencils. Well, you can mix two primary colours, which give you that secondary colour. And remember, you can then mix further to create the tertiary colours as well. If you're not sure what a tertiary colour is, please watch my other video on colour theory. You can also create lots of different colours by creating your own colour wheel and then using that to tell you how to create those different colours in your drawing. You should have hopefully learned the correct ways of holding pencils, but remember, as I said, there is no right or wrong way. It is up to you how you find easiest holding your pencil, dependent on what sort of marks you want to create. What I would encourage you to do is to blend, hold it by the end, hold your pencil by the end and blend using circular motions. That's the one rule that I usually stick by. Hold your pencil by the end to blend and use circular motions. Remember, it's all about practice, and it's all about creating different tones and different ways of holding a pencil to create different marks. You are the artist, so it's up to you to see how you work best. And then also I showed you how to use a variety of pressures to create different effects. But remember, you need to experiment with your own pressure. What I consider a hard pressure may be quite difficult for some. So experiment with how you hold your pencil, how you use your pressure on your pencil, and maybe even how you use that on different papers as well. If you're using printer paper at home, then that is a very, very thin paper. If you're using a more sturdy paper, like a cartridge paper, or even a coloured sugar paper, those are easier to use coloured pencils on because we say they've got a bit more of a tooth. They're thicker paper and they've got different ridges for us to allow our colour to layer on top. I would definitely recommend just practicing with any paper that you have. If you only have printer paper, use that. You can also use different envelopes or even newspapers that come through your door. Try anything that you can do at home. And remember to ask your art teachers if they're able to lend you any equipment for you to use as well. I hope this lesson has been really enjoyable for you. Remember to just practice. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a lovely day. Bye.